The 2023 draft class is 1 year into their NFL careers, and some players from this class are off to great starts, while others will need to pick it up in year 2. Guys like CJ Stroud had one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen from the quarterback position, while the lone player drafted ahead of him in Bryce Young had a very forgettable rookie year from start to finish. As you can see by the title of today's video, we will be going back and grading the 2023 draft class 1 year later in reverse order, and start with the Commanders' selection of corner Emmanuel Forbes and finish with the Panthers' selection of quarterback Bryce Young. This video has been a few weeks in the works, and I hope you enjoy, and there is 16 picks to dive into, and without further ado, let's begin. Emmanuel Forbes, the corner from Mississippi State, was the Commanders' first-round selection, and I was always skeptical of this pick due to Washington taking him over Christian Gonzalez. It was pretty consensus that Gonzalez was a better prospect, and if you are going to be this bold and take a prospect who is deemed inferior, you better be right. Unfortunately, 1 year in, the Commanders were not right, and in 2023, when targeted, Emmanuel allowed 39 receptions on 60 targets while allowing 636 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. He had just 1 interception and 3 penalties, and he had an opposing passer rating of 121.2 when targeted. For reference, in Patrick Mahomes' MVP years in 2018 and 2022, his passer rating was 113.8 and 105.2, so yes, that is as bad as it sounds for Forbes. His worst game came against the Eagles, in which he was credited for allowing 9 receptions for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns, and an opposing passer rating of 151.4. He also missed over 18% of his tackles in 2023, and this was about as bad of a rookie year as anyone could have imagined. This is an F grade. Will McDonald, the pass rusher from Iowa State, was the 15th pick, and once Aaron Rodgers went down, this selection was going to inevitably be affected because teams were naturally going to pass the ball less if they were up multiple scores on the Jets, which, when Tim Boyle was starting, they inevitably were. McDonald was also drafted to be a developmental guy, and he was not expected to be a 10-sack guy from day one. The Jets have a good situation from a pass rushing standpoint, as they have Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, who was recently named a Pro Bowler, and of course Will McDonald. Bryce Huff too if they retain him in free agency. McDonald only played 184 snaps in year 1, but still managed to get 5 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. 2023 was a very forgettable year for the Jets as a whole, but I like the stride McDonald took in the limited role he had. I can't see him not becoming a good pass rusher as time goes on due to the situation he's in, but for now this is incomplete. The Steelers traded up to get Broderick Jones, and after playing over 1,300 snaps at left tackle at Georgia, and even his first few games at left tackle for the Steelers, they moved him to right tackle, and the results were up and down. Broderick did not end the season well on the right side in each of the final 5 games in 2023. He allowed multiple pressures in each game, and in 3 of the final 5 games, he allowed at least 1 sack while allowing 2 against the Colts. Normally, with young offensive linemen, you see them struggle out of the gate, which is to be expected, but Broderick fared better in the earlier parts of the year and struggled near the end. I do think it would be beneficial for both Broderick's and the team's best interest for him to move back to left tackle for the 2024 season and beyond. Just because he went through a hiccup near the end of the season doesn't make me think he's on the path to becoming a bust and that I'm giving up on him. The flashes were there for him in his rookie year, and I hope he gets back to the left side. For now, a C+ grade. Lucas Van Ness was the Packers' first-round pick, and in Luca's rookie year, he had over 30 tackles, 10 quarterback hits, 8 tackles for a loss, and even had 4 sacks. He rarely misses a tackle, and all things considered, Lucas had a great rookie year for the Packers in what was a pretty limited role. He only played 365 total snaps in the regular season, which equated to only 33% of the Packers' defensive snaps. This makes Luca's grade pretty hard because when he was on the field, he was a key contributor and a good player for them, but you don't exactly spend a first-round pick on a key contributor. You spend the 13th overall pick on a pass rusher to get double-digit sacks and double-digit TFLs, both of which I think is achievable for Van Ness in 2024. If you look at his raw numbers, you may think this is C-level production, but I think for what he was when he was on the field, this would be around an A- grade. I love his future, but because he only played 33% of the defensive snaps this year, I am going to go with an incomplete grade. But again, I love his future with Green Bay. Jahmyr Gibbs was the second running back taken in the first round, and a lot of analysts killed this pick because they could have taken Bijan when they were on the clock at number 6. I personally love this pick and love the thought of the duo of Gibbs and Montgomery behind that big offensive line, and each back had great years in 2023. Jahmyr finished his rookie year with over 1,250 total yards and 11 touchdowns, and it's not fair to say he was a change of pace back from David Montgomery because a change of pace usually has the same meaning as a game manager for a quarterback, just at the running back position, but Jahmyr quite literally was a change of pace from the big bruising Montgomery. He is electric with the football in his hands, and the Lions proved that if you have the offensive line in place and a talent like Jahmyr is available, then make the pick. Nobody is regretting taking a running back in the first round 1 year later, and nor should they. Gibbs and Montgomery are a thunder and lightning duo, and they could very easily lead this team to a Super Bowl in 2024. An A grade on the Gibbs pick. Peter Skoronski was a very good offensive line prospect from Northwestern, and the thought was he could be a good offensive tackle, but a great guard for a long time at the NFL level. Peter flashed at times during his rookie season, most notably during the Jacksonville and Carolina games, when he went 2 straight games without allowing a pressure. We often talk about situations allowing a player to succeed, or in Peter's case, a situation that limits his potential, and the 2023 Titans were certainly a case of that. Both Peter and Will Levis were in a bad situation, as Skoronski was by far the Titans' best offensive lineman, and for his sake, I hope they address the offensive line with the 7th pick in the 2024 draft. Yes, Peter had rookie moments, which is going to happen for 22-year-old rookies, going up against 30-year-old grown men that have been doing this for a decade, but the good far outweighed the bad, a B+ grade. Darnell Wright was the Bears' first-round pick after trading down from pick 1 and then pick 9 to pick up their right tackle of the future. Like you would expect from a 22-year-old right tackle, there were a lot of ups and downs in his rookie year, which is fine. What worked against Darnell was quarterback Justin Fields having the longest average time to throw at 3.4 seconds, meaning Darnell's numbers are going to be skewed in terms of pressures allowed and sacks allowed too, relative to his on-field play. Darnell ended the year on a better note than he started, as in 3 of the final 5 games, he allowed 2 pressures or less, which was a step in the, no pun intended, right direction. I think new OC Shane Waldron will help not just the quarterback out in 2024, but the entire offense, and that includes Darnell. For now, this is a C+, but with the flashes he showed, this grade should only go up. Jalen Carter, the big fella from Georgia, went to Philly at pick 9, and this was a perfect example of a great prospect going to a great situation. Carter finished his rookie year with 49 pressures, which ranked 4th in the class, but it is worth noting Carter had the highest pass rush win rate in the 2023 class, with a win rate of 17.7%. He had 4 games with 5 or more pressures, and as a rookie interior defensive lineman, that's very rare territory. For reference, he had more pressures on less pass rushing snaps than a guy in the 2014 draft class who goes by the name of Aaron Donald. Jalen Carter is the real deal, and he will be around for a long time. He had 9 quarterback hits as a rookie, as well as 8 tackles for a loss, and even forced 2 fumbles. Anytime a guy 23 or younger shows this type of dominance is a big deal this early in their career. It's easy to project Carter to be a multiple-time Pro Bowler, and hell, maybe as early as next year, an All-Pro. He has all the traits you want in a defensive tackle, and there was a reason why he was a highly touted prospect, and he delivered in year 1, an A+ grade. Bijan Robinson was a can't-miss prospect coming out of Texas, and there were very lofty expectations heading into his rookie season. Back in 2018, Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 total yards as a rookie, and it wasn't crazy to think Bijan could do the same in 2023. Bijan's rookie season is abnormal in a sense because he wasn't used as much as you would have thought a number 8 overall pick would have been, but he still finished the year with over 1,450 total yards. He didn't have his first 20-plus carry game until his 10th game, and everyone at some point has expressed their frustration with former head coach Arthur Smith and with how much, or how little, he used his playmakers drafted in the top 10. Bijan finished 19th in the NFL in carries in 2023, and there was no doubt Bijan and Tyler Algier were going to split carries, but this duo is very good, and there's no reason they couldn't have had the success David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs had. I can't wait to see how the Falcons use him in 2024 and beyond, because I truly think he can be the best back in the league. For now, this is an A-. Tyree Wilson had a rough start to his rookie year, and there was a point midway through the 2023 season that Devon Witherspoon, a corner Seattle drafted at number 5 overall, had more pressures than Tyree Wilson through the first 7 or 8 weeks. This wasn't a cherry-picked stat where you could say, oh, Jimmy G has more passing touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes after week 1 and make a joke on Twitter. This was half a year of work, and I had my concerns that Tyree was too big of a project for the Raiders. But I want to credit Tyree for finishing the year strong and having some momentum to carry into 2024. He had 3 games with 4 pressures or more in the final 5 games of the year, including 2 sacks during this span. He had just 9 pressures in the first 12 weeks of the year, and it looked like the Raiders drafted a bust. With Max Crosby on the other side and another year under Antonio Pierce, I think the future for Tyree is very bright. I was so happy to see him generate more pressure towards the end of the year, and he will be a breakout candidate for me next year. For now, a C grade. Paris Johnson Jr. was the Cardinals' first-round pick after trading back from pick 3 to pick 12, then back up to pick 6 to go get their right tackle of the future. Paris struggled at times during his rookie season, which was to be expected, as here's some guys he went up against during his rookie year. Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, Montez Sweat, twice as he got him with the Commanders and the Bears, Will Anderson, TJ Watt, and you get the point. PFF credited Paris with giving up 8 sacks, but when you transition to the NFL level at 22 years old and go up against those guys, well, you are going to struggle. Hell, all pro tackles would struggle with that lineup. But like with Tyree, Paris improved down the stretch, and I thought he had a good end to his rookie year. I look at Paris' rookie year and look at a player who grew a lot between September and January, and I think the Cardinals have their guy for the next several years. For now, a C+ grade with it expected to go up. Devon Witherspoon was one of my favorite cornerback prospects ever, and I love this pick for Seattle when they made it, and I love this pick a year later. Devon had 79 total tackles as a rookie, which is insane, and not only that, but he also had a pick 6, a forced fumble, and tacked on 3 sacks from the cornerback position. There are not a lot of Devon Witherspoons in football, and I know the Pro Bowl isn't what it once was, but Devon making a Pro Bowl as a rookie shows the type of year he had. He impacts the game every play, he hits like a truck, and he's only going to get better. Perhaps what is most impressive about Witherspoon's rookie year was he had 8 tackles for a loss. He is listed at 5'11", 181, but he plays like he's 6'2", 215. I love Devon, and his future is as bright as he wants it to be. Seattle struggled at times defensively in 2023, but it was not due to the play of Witherspoon, not even close. This is what you envision when you are taking a corner with the 5th overall pick in the draft. This pick was from the Russell Wilson trade, so thank you, Mr. Unlimited, and this is an A+ grade. Anthony Richardson was the 3rd and final quarterback taken in the first round. Unfortunately, his rookie season was ended prematurely, and in the second week of October, he was placed on injured reserve due to a grade 3 AC joint sprain he suffered in week 5 against the Titans. He only played 4 games during his rookie season and only threw 84 passes, but what I will say about Richardson's future is I like what the Colts are building, and I am a big believer in Anthony Richardson. I think Shane Steichen has already proven to be one of the best coaching hires from the 2023 cycle due to the success the Colts had with a backup quarterback and running back for the majority of the 2023 season. I also love AR's future due to playing behind guys like Bernhard Raimann and, of course, Quentin Nelson. I like the skill position players Indy has, assuming they re-sign Michael Pittman, and I don't see any way how AR won't be successful in the long run. Because Anthony only played 4 games during his rookie season, this grade for now is incomplete. The Texans made a big trade on draft night to go back into the top 3 to go get another blue chip talent, and this time it was to go get pass rusher Will Anderson. I was skeptical not of the player they were getting, but of what they gave up in this trade. The Texans gave up their 2024 first round pick, and based on how I thought the Texans' 2023 season would go, with a rebuilding season and with a rookie head coach and quarterback, well, I thought they were going to give up a future top 6 or 7 draft pick, just being honest. But they didn't, and Will Anderson played a huge part in the Texans' success this year. He led all rookies with 59 pressures and had 4 games with 6 or more pressures during his rookie year alone. He had a pass rush win rate of 16.3%, which is insanely impressive for a rookie, and for reference, TJ Watt, who led the league in sacks this year, had a pass rush win rate of just 16.9%. Anderson is the real deal, and anytime you get a pass rusher of the future like this, nobody questions what you gave up. He finished the the year with 22 quarterback hits and 7 sacks, and did all of this at just 21 years old. The Texans will be the subject of a lot of offseason content, and it's because of Will and the guy they drafted before him. The Texans hit a home run, and this is an A+ pick. Coleridge Stroud IV was the number 2 overall pick, and in his rookie season, CJ would go on to throw for over 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, and have a passer rating of over 100. He would also tack on 3 rushing touchdowns for a 26 total touchdown rookie year, in what would also be the first division title of his career, as well as winning a playoff game. CJ had a near-perfect passer rating against the Browns in the playoff game, and he would throw for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. This was a truly magical year for the Texans, and Nico Collins went for nearly 1,300 yards, and teams will try and copy what the Texans did not just in the 2024 draft, but in several drafts moving forward because of the year 1 success they had. It's hard to win in the AFC because of all of the elite quarterbacks, but the Texans did, and they will be a force to be reckoned with moving forward, and that's due in large part to CJ. Unfortunately, because they didn't get in the red zone against the Ravens in the playoffs or even score a touchdown, we are going to have to knock this down to an A. And I am completely kidding, so put those keyboards down, as this is an easy A+ grade. Unlike the year CJ Stroud had in Houston, Bryce Young had the rookie season from hell. Bryce would finish his rookie year with just under 2,900 yards and 11 passing touchdowns to 10 interceptions. There were certainly flashes during his rookie year against all odds, and I mean against all odds, but it's truly hard to grade his rookie year knowing how many pieces around him failed. I don't think it's an undersized is the problem when your offensive line allows 62 sacks in the 16 games he played. Whether Bryce was 5'10", 200 pounds, or 6'3", 220, his offensive line was horrible, and his best receiver was a 33-year-old Adam Thielen, who managed to haul in over 100 passes and 1,000 yards this year. If that is your best option during your rookie season, that says more about how the organization prepared than anything you could have possibly shown on the field. The back-to-back shutouts to end the Panthers' 2023 season were fitting, given how their season went, and my hope for Bryce moving forward is the Panthers simply get him pieces to work with. Dave Canales is a good start. I think you can make an argument Bryce's rookie year should be incomplete, but we will give it a D+ grade. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, as only about 33% of people watching are subscribed, and if you enjoyed today's video, definitely subscribe because grading draft classes are just getting started. Until next time, please be safe and have a great day. Love you guys.